Hey everyone. I know I'm not a big YouTuber, as some may say, and I'm definitely not very active within the Outcome Memories game itself, but I am active when it comes to Outcome Memories community announcements, any game changes, updates, and all that jazz. But with the recent situation with Romeo, you know, I would like to discuss that because honestly, I'm very frustrated about all of this. I am angry, I am upset, and I want to talk about it. So that's what we're going to do. So let's fully break down the situation because a lot of people are confused or only seeing one side. Romeo wasn't just some random person, he was an established contributor and community figure tied to Outcome Memories. Out of nowhere, the dev team announced that he was removed, as shown in their community announcements. No proper explanation, no timeline, no transparency. Just a vague statement that immediately caused speculation and backlash. Then, Sobi released a video showing a direct conversation between Romeo, PR, and I do not know how to say this person's name. It'll be on the screen. And this is where things start to look really bad for the Outcome Memories team. Instead of handling this privately and professionally, the conversation turned into what looked like a coordinated pressure. PR acted as a middleman, but it was obvious that Romeo was being put in a defensive position while multiple people were talking over him, reframing the narrative and repeatedly bringing up old issues that Romeo had already addressed and resolved. What made it worse is that this conversation was then shown publicly, that alone creates a power imbalance. When developers release private conflict discussions to the public, it stops being about resolution and starts being about controlling public perception. And the way this was presented made it feel less like clarification and more like damage control, trying to steer the audience into seeing Romeo as the problem instead of acknowledging how abruptly and poorly this entire situation was handled. This is where the Outcome Memories team completely dropped the ball. What we saw was not professionalism, it was emotional management. You don't fire someone, then let the narrative spiral, then release partial conversations to justify your actions. That's not leadership, that's reputation shielding. Forgive me. It created the appearance of manipulation, dogpiling, and sympathy farming, where Romeo was framed as unstable, unreasonable, or hostile while the team positioned themselves as victims of his frustration. But here's the thing: Romeo's frustration didn't come from nowhere. From his perspective, the firing was sudden, unclear, and handled without proper discussion. Anyone in that position would be upset. I would be upset. Instead of acknowledging that, the OM team dismissed his response and painted it as him weaponizing public emotion? Like, are we serious? That's extremely ironic considering the team themselves allowed and contributed to public emotional framing by releasing the conversation and letting their community rally behind their side. This makes the Outcome Memories leadership look unorganized, reactive, and unprofessional. When you're running a community driven project, your responsibility is to de escalate conflict, not turn it into content. Now we need to talk about the mental aspect angle because this part is especially uncomfortable. Romeo stepping away for mental health reasons should have been handled with maturity and care. Instead, it became a justification tool. Instead of setting boundaries, timelines, or expectations privately, it was treated as a liability and later used in public framing. What Sobi's video showed was not empathy, it was pressure. Romeo was expected to remain calm, composed, and agreeable while being confronted by multiple people about past issues that were already resolved. That's not fair conflict resolution, that's emotional cornering. And when Romeo expressed frustration online, especially with multiple posts, which is completely normal when you feel blindsided, especially when you're not told the real reason why you were fired and it was never properly said to the entire community, the dev team reframed it as him being manipulative or trying to rally public sympathy. That's a very dangerous narrative. It discourages people from speaking up when they feel wronged because the moment they do, it gets labeled as weaponizing emotions. If Outcome Memories wants to be taken seriously as a development team, they cannot treat mental health breaks like inconveniences, and they cannot publicly weaponize emotional vulnerability to protect their image. With this whole situation going, me personally, I'm on Romeo's side, and I'm so glad the devs for Bite by Night just pulled him in because let's be real, Romeo was the only reason that there was any hope for Outcome Memory's survival. And with how Sobi and others are going about the situation, making it seem like Romeo is in the wrong, I just think there's no hope for Outcome Memories as a game, as a community. But after seeing all the people and the backlash ratio, thinking that Sobi was going to have a lot of people on their side, yeah, no. It's just not how it's going to be. But this video isn't to target anyone. It was just mainly to talk about what's been going on and my perspective on the matter. I will make another video and probably talk more about the situation if it continues to unfold and do more clarification and more nosedives into information that I probably didn't talk about in this video. But until then, I wish Romeo the best of luck because he deserves it. And I wish the Outcome Memories devs luck because they're going to need it. Because, sorry for repeating myself, but the looks of it, they are screwed. But if Outcome Memories wants to survive long term, this needs to be a wake-up call. You can't build a strong project while treating contributors in your community like this, so let's do better. For all the people that watch this video, let me know your thoughts in the comments. Keep it respectful, please, and I'll see you next time.